Are Weaver and the rest of the Requiem members dead in the Modern Warfare 3 cutscene cinematic trailer? You might be asking yourself this exact question, and today I'm going over the best answer for this question and potentially everything we know so far. So let's get right into it. Now, to start off answering this question, we have to look back at the end credits cutscene after the Forsaken Easter egg from Call of Duty Cold War. In this cutscene, we saw the Forsaken defeated by Samantha Maxis, trapping herself in the Dark Aether with the Forsaken, and then the entire Requiem crew, who's been helping us through the entire Cold War story, become arrested, essentially along with all of our playable operators, which is quite funny actually, the cutscene, especially if you've got sort of celebrity cameo operators on as well, by none other than Eddie Richtofen. And if you watch this sort of end credits cutscene for the Easter egg, on the monitor you can actually see a group memo from the director, Eddie Richtofen, to other members, we currently don't know who this is being sent to, saying the following: "Entity acquired, all breaches sealed. Maxis locked within the Dark Aether. She is no longer a problem for Project Janus. Divert strike team to Black Site 13 for indefinite containment. I will shut down Requiem. Our agents can move on Weaver and the rest." We then know that 5 years later, in the very end credits, Peck ends up in Japan, potentially looking for a boat to go to Black Site 13, potentially to free Requiem, or Samantha Maxis maybe out of the Dark Aether. But that, in terms of Cold War, that's where we last left off the story. Now, fast forward to the MW3 Zombies cinematic. We see enemy soldiers led by Viktor Zakhaev breaking into a building's basement where they find a room containing the Cerberus from Mauer der Toten, monkey bombs, a ray gun, perk cans, and loads more Easter eggs and artifacts from Cold War Zombies specifically. But if we look at the bodies around this table, we can see 4 skeletons slash mummified humans essentially sitting around holding hands around a strange device in the centre, with cabling all around them going into the centre of the device. This device then opens up containing veils of Dark Aether energy, material rather, used to start new outbreaks, because we see it later in the trailer being thrown and it essentially turns all surrounding soldiers into zombies, effectively bringing the Dark Aether back into the real world. One thing to notice here is when it's opened, in terms of the device, it sort of pops open, we can see 2 veils are missing, and Zakhaev and the other soldier only take 2. So the question now are, where are the other 2 vials? Now I'm just going to go over a few different theories I've got, basically pertaining to both the Dark Aether vials as well as the fact of, are the Requiem members sitting at this table, including Weaver, dead? Now again, the question is, why are seemingly Dr. Strauss, Carver, Dr. Gray and Weaver sitting mummified around this device at the table? Well, my first theory was that they sacrificed themselves to protect those vials to make sure they didn't fall into the wrong hands, in which they now have. But if you look again, there's cabling all around them here going through the room, sometimes like through their legs and going into the table, into the centre device. So what if Dr. Strauss, Carver, Gray and Weaver, what if they transferred their sort of life force or consciousness into powering this machine somehow as some kind of sacrifice? What if they used this device to, instead of sacrificing themselves, transfer themselves into the Dark Aether to save or look for Samantha Maxis, who is seemingly trapped there once again? We know Dr. Gray and Samantha Maxis had a romance of some kind, and obviously Sam and Weaver worked on past missions and also had sort of an attachment as friends. So what if all 4 agreed to go find her in the Dark Aether because they either felt guilty for, basically help trapping her there, or they just really wanted their friend back? Now, if you look at all of their dead bodies, we don't see any gunshots, gun wounds, gunfire, so seemingly, obviously, they've been in this basement for quite a while. And we do know that MW3 Zombies will be set sort of in the modern day, and we know that obviously Cold War took place in the 80s, so sometime between then they've obviously gone into this room. So they've either transferred themselves into this device to either power the vials or protect them, or they've potentially gone gone into the Dark Ether to look for Samantha. Now, from recent leaks, we know that COD 2024 is most likely going to be Call of Duty Gulf War, designed by Treyarch. This will be Treyarch's first main title that they've fully designed by themselves since Black Ops 4, which is absolutely mental to say. Every other game they've had involvement with has either been Sledgehammer or Infinity Ward. So this will be the first Treyarch game that they are designing specifically by themselves. It's possibly going to be set in the 1990s, which would match up with the post-credits scene in Forsaken, with Peck potentially getting a boat to either go to Black Site 13 or the sea in Japan somewhere to go find some friends, as he says. And we know from leaks there's going to be 2 maps potentially coming at launch. Also, if you guys want to watch, I've got on the channel, because in the string, in the actual code that's been leaked for the next COD game 2024, we're potentially getting a Transit remake, and I've done a whole video on that, which I'll have on screen now, but with one of them potentially being set on a boat, because we also know from leaks that one of the maps has things like tentacle traps, it has a deck cannon, as well as an actual boat deck, so it's probably set on a boat, which would again line up with this end credit scene. So as for now, it looks like Gulf War will be a continuation of Cold War's story, whereas MW3 will be set after it, as MW3 Zombies takes place somewhere between 2019 and 2021, and who knows, maybe this question won't be answered at all in MW3 Zombies, but instead will be shown off in Gulf War in 2024. As to why they're sitting around this table with dark ether vials, we're going to have to potentially wait for COD 2024, as MW3 could be a sequel to it. So basically COD 2024 could end up being a prequel to MW3 Zombies, which in my opinion would be a bit weird, because then if we play and see the story unfold in MW3, then we've essentially already seen how COD 2024 is going to end. But again, we're going to have to wait and see, as this could be 2 entirely separate events, and their bodies are literally just there for an Easter egg. But at the end of the day, we need answers, and unfortunately we're just going to have to wait to see what happens in MW3 or potentially COD 2024. So everyone, thank you so much for watching today, and if you want more MW2, MW3, Call of Duty and COD Zombies content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video and share the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.